We are at stage 2, full stage revision. Paragraph page 69. Last hit word was Japan. Stage 2.
Yes,
Full
yes,
stage revision 69. Okay, so let's start from where we ended. Okay, let me scroll down. 69. Japan. Okay, here we go. First question.
yes.
Okay. What do the words anybody and somebody mean in Japanese? What do the words anybody and somebody mean in Japanese? The words
Uh,
anybody,
the verb
the
anybody
words
and
woman
the somebody
mean dareka
means that
in Japanese. Very good.
in
Uh,
Japanese.
very good. What's the difference between anybody and somebody? What's the difference between anybody and somebody? The difference
The difference
between
between
anybody and
anybody and
somebody
the
is
somebody
that
is
we
that
use
we
anybody
use
in
anybody
questions
in question
and negative
and the
sentences,
negative sentences,
whereas we
as
use
we use
somebody
and somebody
in
is
positive
in
in
positive
positive sentences.
sentences.
Very good. Is there anybody in this room? Is there anybody in this room? Yes,
Yes, there are somebody
in that
in that
room.
room.
Very good. Is there anybody speaking to you? Is there anybody speaking to you? Yes, there's somebody
There are somebody
speaking to me.
speaking to me.
Very good. Is there anybody sitting there on that chair? Is there anybody sitting there on that chair? Yes, there's
Yes, there
somebody
are somebody
sitting there
sitting there
on that chair.
on that chair.
Very good. Okay, next. Is there anybody sitting on the floor? Is there anybody sitting on the floor? No. There
No,
isn't in
there
there
isn't
isn't anybody
there isn't anybody
sitting on the
sitting
floor.
on the floor.
Is there anybody in this room wearing a hat? Is there anybody in this room wearing a hat? No, there
No,
isn't
there isn't
anybody
anybody
in that room wearing a
in
hat.
that room wearing a hat.
Where is there anybody in the corridor? Is there anybody in the corridor? No, there
No,
isn't
there
anybody
isn't anybody
in the corridor.
in the corridor.
Very good. Okay, who's speaking English in this room? Who's speaking English in this room? We're speaking English.
We are speaking English in this room.
Very good. Okay, who's speaking French in this room? Who's speaking French in this room? Nobody's
Nobody
speaking
speaks
French.
speaking nobody is speaking French in
French
this
in this
room.
room. Very good. Who's wearing clothes in this room? Who's wearing clothes in this room? Nobody's.
Nobody is
No.
wearing
We're wearing clothes. We're wearing
we are
clothes.
very both we are very
Clothes
clothes
in this room.
in this room.
Very good. Who's wearing a hat in this room? Who's wearing a hat in this room? Nobody's
Nobody is
wearing a hat.
wearing a
Wearing
hat
a
in this
hat
room.
in this room.
This room.
Very good. Who's giving you an English lesson? Who's giving you an English lesson? You're
You're
giving
giving
me an
me
English lesson.
a English lesson.
Who's in the corridor? Who's in the corridor? Nobody's in
Nobody
the
is
corridor.
the corridor.
Very good. Okay, next. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're
You're
walking.
walking.
Very good. Okay, where am I walking to? Where am I walking to?
You're
You're
walking
walking
to the
to.
window.
Very good. Do you like walking? Do you like walking? Yes or no?
Yes, I like walking.
Very good. Does she like walking? Does she like walking? Yes or no?
Yes, she likes walking.
Very good. Is Mr. Brown's dress? Is this Mr. Brown's dress? No, it
Yes.
isn't. No,
Oh
it
no, it
isn't
isn't Mr.
Mr.
Brown's
Brown's
dress.
dress. One more. No, it
No,
isn't Mr.
it
Brown's
isn't
dress.
Mr. Brown's dress.
It's
It's
Mrs.
Mrs.
Brown's.
Brown's dress.
Very good. Okay, next. Is this Jack Brown shirt? Is this Jack Brown shirt? Yes,
Yes, it's
it's
Jack
Jack
Brown's
Brown's shirt.
shirt.
Very good. Is this Mr. Brown's arm? Is this Mr. Brown's arm? No, it
No,
isn't
it isn't Mr. Brown's
arm.
arm. It's Mrs. Brown's arms.
Very good. Is this Mr. Smith's ear? Is this Mr. Smith's ear? No,
No,
it
it
isn't
isn't
Mr.
Mr.
Smith's
Smith's
ear.
hair.
It's
It's Mr.
Brown's
Brown's hair
ear.
here.
Very good. Okay. So, is this Mr. Brown's book? Is this Mr. Brown's book?
No,
No,
it
it
isn't
isn't.
Mr. Brown's book. It's your
It's
book.
very good. Okay, next. What's my right hand doing? What's my right hand doing?
You're moving your hand up and down.
No, but what's my right hand? Not what I'm doing. So, what's my right hand doing? Your right hand's
Your right hand
moving up and down.
your right hand are moving up and down.
Very good. Okay, next. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're
You're
standing up.
sitting. You're standing up.
Very good. What am I doing? What am I doing?
You're sitting.
You're sitting down.
You're sitting down.
Very good. Do you sit down after the lesson? Do you sit down after the lesson? No, we don't
No,
sit
I
down.
don't sit down after the lesson.
I
I
stand up
I stand up
after
after lesson.
after the lesson.
After the lesson.
Very good again. What's the negative of can? What's the negative of can? The
The
negative
negative
of
of
can
can
is
is
cannot.
I can't.
Cannot.
Cannot.
Very good. One more. The negative of can
The negative of can
is
is
cannot.
cannot.
What's the contraction of cannot? What's the contraction of cannot? The
The
contraction
contraction
of
of
cannot
cannot
is
is can't.
very good. Can you speak Italian? Can you speak Italian?
No,
No.
I can speak Italian. I
Can
can
you?
speak Chinese.
Okay, very good. Can you put this book into your pocket? Can you put this book into your pocket? No.
No, I can't put that book into my pocket.
Very
It's
good.
too
It's too. It's
it's too
too
big
big. Very good. To go into my pocket.
it's too big into eh?
It's too big to go.
uh it's it's too big
Go
put
into my pocket.
to go into my pocket.
Very good. Can you
To
touch the
to
ceiling?
go to go
To
to
go.
go. Oh yes.
Okay. Can you touch the ceiling? Can you touch the ceiling? No.
No, I can't touch the ceiling.
Very good. Okay. How much is a quarter of 40? How much is a quarter of 40? 10 is a
And 10
quarter.
is the quarter of 40.
40. Very good. How much is a quarter of 1,000? How much is a quarter of 1,000? 250
250 is a
is a
quarter of
quarter.
1,000.
Very good. What's a quarter of 10? What's a quarter of 10? Two and a half
2.5
is a quarter
is
of 10.
a quarter of 10.
What's a quarter of 5? What's a quarter of 5? One and a
One
quarter
one and a quarter
is a
is
quarter of
a
5.
quarter of 5.
Very good. Are you teaching me English? Are you teaching me English? No,
No, I'm
I'm
not
not.
teaching you English.
I'm learning
I'm learning English
English from you.
from you.
Very good. Do you learn Spanish? Do you learn Spanish? No,
No, I don't learn
Spanish.
Spanish.
I
I
learn
learn English.
English. Very good. Do you like learning a language? Do you like learning a language? Yes or no?
Yes, I like learning English language.
Very good. Does she like learning a language? Does she like learning a language? Yes.
Yes, she likes learning English. She likes learning language.
One more. Yes, she likes
Yes,
learning
yes, she
a
likes
language.
learning. Yes, she likes learning languages.
Very good.
Languages.
A language. Very good.
Language.
Okay. Next. Is English grammar difficult? Is English grammar difficult? No.
No,
English
English
grammar
grammar isn't
isn't
difficult.
difficult.
It's easy.
Is Chinese an easy language to learn? Is Chinese an easy language to learn? No. Chinese
No,
isn't
Chinese isn't
an easy.
an easy language to learn.
It's a
It's
difficult.
difficult.
It's a difficult language to learn.
It's a difficult language to learn.
Very good. Is it difficult for you to speak your language? Is it difficult for you to speak your language? No, it isn't
No,
difficult for
it
me
isn't difficult for
to
me
speak
to
my
speak
language.
English,
To speak my
to speak
language.
my language.
It's easy.
It's easy.
Very good. Is it generally easy for people to write with their left hand? Is it generally easy for people to write with their left hand? No, it isn't
No, it
generally
isn't
easy
generally easy
for people to
for
write
people to write
with their left hand.
with their
Left
left
hand,
hand.
it's difficult.
It's difficult.
Very good. What's my pen doing? What's my pen doing? Your pen's hanging.
Your
Your pen's hanging
it's your pen is hanging
between
hanging
your finger
between your finger
and
and
you,
the
and
thumb,
your thumb.
and your thumb.
Wait, one more. Your pen's hanging
Your pen is hanging with
between your finger,
between your finger and
your thumb.
your thumb. Your
Very
thumb.
good. Is there a light hanging from the ceiling? Is there a light hanging from the ceiling? Yes or no?
Yes.
There's a light hanging from the ceiling.
There. Yes. That height is hanging on the ceiling.
Well, yes, there's a light. Okay,
Yes.
repeat
There is
after
a
me.
light
Hanging from the ceiling.
hanging from the ceiling.
Very good. Is there a map hanging on that wall? Is there a map hanging on that wall? Yes, there's
No.
a map
Yes. There is a map
hanging
hanging on the wall.
on that wall.
On that wall.
Very good. Okay, do you go home after the lesson by car, by bus, by train, or do you walk home? Do you go home after the lesson by car, by bus, by train, or do you walk home? I walk home
I walk home
after the lesson.
after
I
the
don't
lesson.
go by car, by
I don't
bus,
go by car, by bus, or
or by train.
by train.
Very good. Which do you prefer, to walk or to go by car? Which do you prefer, to walk or to go by car? I prefer to
I prefer to go by car
than to walk.
than to work.
Very good. Do you come to school by train or by bus? Do you come to school by train or by bus? I come to
I
school.
coming to school by
I
bus.
not coming. I come to school
I come to school
by.
by bus.
Very good. Okay. Does she come to school by train or by bus? Does she come to school by train or by bus? She comes
She
to
comes
school
to school
by.
by car.
The option is train or bus. Okay. She comes to school by.
She comes to school by bus.
Very good. Okay. Next. Are you married? Are you married? Yes or no?
Yes, I'm married.
Is Mr. Brown single? Is Mr. Brown single? No.
Yes, Mr. Brown's. Oh no, Mr. Brown isn't single. She's married. He's
Very,
married.
very good. Is Miss Brown married? Is Miss Brown married? No. Miss
No,
Brown.
Miss Brown isn't married.
She's
She's single.
very good. Okay. Has Mr. Brown got a wife? Has Mr. Brown got a wife? Yes.
Yes,
Mr. Brown
Mr. Brown
got a wife.
got a wife.
Has Mrs. Brown got a husband? Has Mrs. Brown got a husband? Yes,
Yes,
Mrs. Brown
Mrs. Brown's
got a
got a
husband.
husband.
Very good. Okay. Is Mrs. Brown's husband standing behind the house? Is Mrs. Brown's husband standing behind the house? No.
Yes, no, Mr. Brown isn't standing
Okay, one moment.
behind
The
mm,
question is Mrs.
oh
Brown's husband standing behind the house? No.
ah
Mrs.
no,
Brown's husband
Mrs. Brown's husband isn't
isn't standing
standing
behind
behind the
the house.
house.
He's
He's
standing
standing
in
in front of the house.
very good. Okay. Next. What's the plural of child? What's the plural of child? The
The
plural
plural
of
of
child
child
is
is
children.
children.
How many children have your mother and father got? How many children have your mother and father got? My mother and father
My mother and father
have got.
have got two children.
Very good. Are you an only child? Are you an only child? Yes or
No,
no?
I'm not only a child.
One more. No, no,
No,
I'm not an only child.
no, I'm not an only child.
Very good. Okay, what do we call this? What do we call this? We call that a
We
pen.
call that a pen.
Very good. Okay, what do we call the people in France? What do we call the people in France? We call
We
the people.
call people
One
in
more.
France
We
is
call the people
we call the
in
people in
France
France
French.
is
No more is.
uh
We call the people
we call the
in
people in
France
France
French.
French.
Very good. What do we call the thing we wear on our heads? What do we call the thing we wear on our heads? We call the thing
We
we
call
wear
the
on our
thing
heads.
uh yes.
Well,
We
we call
call
the thing
the
we
thing
wear on our
we
head
wear on our head
a hat.
a hat.
Very good. What do people generally call their mother and father? What do people generally call their mother and father? People
People
generally
generally
call
call
their mother and
mom
father
their mother and father
mom and
mom
dad.
and dad.
Very good. Are both my hands on the table? Are both my hands on the table? No,
Yes.
no.
Oh
Both
no.
your
Both of
arm,
your
both
both
your
your
hands
hands
aren't
aren't
on the table.
on the table.
One's on the table
One's on the
and
table
the
and
others
the others
on
on your
your.
arm.
Very good. Are both my hands closed? Are both my hands closed? No.
No.
Both your hands
Both your hands
aren't closed.
aren't closed.
One's closed
One's closed
and the
and
others.
one and the others open.
Very good. Next. Are both these pencils black? Are both these pencils black? No.
No,
Both
both
those pencils.
pencils aren't black.
One's
One
black
is black
and the
and the
others
other's yellow.
yellow. Very good. Okay, next. What's this? What's this? It's a book.
It's a book.
What kind of book is this? What kind of book is this? It's an English book.
It's an English book.
What kind of room is this? What kind of room is this? It's a classroom.
It's a classroom.
What kind of car do you prefer? What kind of car do you prefer? I prefer
I prefer SUV.
an SUV.
I prefer
An
an
S
an an
SUV.
SUV.
Very good. Okay. Next, give me some examples of prepositions. Give me some examples of prepositions, please. Some examples
Some
of
examples of
prepositions
prepositions
are
are
on, under,
full, under,
in, and
in,
from.
of,
And
from,
from.
and from.
Very good. Where do you come from? Where do you come from? I come from.
I come
One more.
from China.
Very good. Where do I come from? Where do I come from? You come from.
You come from Filipino.
No, that's a citizen. So the country you come from.
Philippines.
Very good. What do we speak with? What do we speak with? We speak with
We speak with
our mouth.
our mouth.
Where am I taking the book from? Where am I taking the book from? You're taking the book.
You're taking
You're
you
taking the book
you're taking the book
from the
from the
table.
table.
Very good. Where am I putting the pen under? Where am I putting the pen under? You're putting the pen
You're
under
putting
the
the
book.
pen under the book.
Very good. What are you sitting on? What are you sitting on? I'm
I'm
sitting
sitting on the
on.
chair.
Very good. Tell me the names of the four cardinal points. Tell me the names of the four cardinal points, please. The names
The
of the
names
four
of four
cardinal points.
cardinal name
Cardinal
points
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 are
are
north,
east,
north,
west,
okay,
north,
and west.
and west.
Is Greece west of Italy? Is Greece west of Italy? No.
No,
Greece
Greece
isn't
isn't
west of Italy.
West Italy.
West of Italy.
It's west of Italy.
It's east of Italy.
It's east of Italy.
Very good. Is Paris in the south of France? Is Paris in the south of France? No. Paris
No,
isn't
Paris
in
isn't
the
south
south
of
in the south of France.
in south. Sorry.
In the south of France. Okay, listen to the
Mm,
articles because it's important in English. One more.
yes.
No, Paris isn't
No, Paris isn't
in the south of France.
in the south of France.
Right? It's in the north of France.
It's in the north of France.
Very good. Is Germany east or west of Italy? Is Germany east or west of Italy? Germany isn't
Germany isn't
east
in
or west
the
east or
e-
west of Italy.
east or west
Of
Italy
Italy.
of Italy.
It's north of Italy.
It's north of Italy.
Very good. Okay, how many places are there in this room? How many places are there in this room? There are
There
three
are
places
some three places
in that room.
in that room.
Is there anybody sitting in that place? Is there anybody sitting in that place? Yes,
Yes,
there's
there
somebody
are somebody
sitting
sitting
in that place.
in that place.
Tell me the name of some of the places you like in your country. Tell me the names of some of the places you like in your country. The names of
The
some
name
of the
of
places.
the names of
Some of
some
the
places,
places. Some of
some
the places.
some of
The
places,
places
the places.
I like in
A,
my country is
I like my country.
or
Is are
what they like,
Guilin, Beijing, etc.
etc. Very good. Okay, next. What's the opposite of high? What's the opposite of high?
The
The
opposite
opposite of high
high
is low.
is low.
Right? What's the opposite of behind? What's the opposite of behind?
The
The
opposite
opposite of behind.
behind is
In
in
front
front
of.
of.
What's the opposite of tall? What's the opposite of tall?
The
The
opposite
opposite
of
of
tall
tall
is
is short.
short.
What's the opposite of the verb to teach? What's the opposite of the verb to teach? The
The
opposite.
opposite, the word of to teach is to learn.
Very good. One more. The opposite of the verb
The the opposite of the verb
to teach is to learn. To teach
to
is to
to
learn.
teach is to learn.
Very good. What's the opposite of with? What's the opposite of with? The opposite of with.
Opposite of
The opposite of with is
the
without.
opposite the opposite of with is without.
Very good. Can we write without a pen or a pencil? Can we write without a pen or a pencil?
No,
No,
we
we
can't
can't
write
write without
without
a
a
pen or a
pen or
pencil.
pencil
Or a pencil.
or a pencil.
Very good. Can we speak without opening our mouths? Can we speak without opening our mouths? No, we
No, we
can't
can't
speak without
speak
opening our
uh,
mouths.
without
Without
opening our
mouths.
mouth.
Very good. Can you read without wearing glasses? Can you read without wearing glasses? Yes or no? Can you read without wearing eyeglasses? Yes or no?
Oh no, oh
I
no,
can't.
no,
I
I
can't
can't
read
read
without wearing glasses.
without wearing glasses.
Very good. Okay, what's the difference between a verb and a noun? What's the difference between a verb and a noun? The
The
difference
difference
between
between
a verb and a
a
noun.
verb and a
Noun
noun
is that
is
a
that
verb.
we use
Is that a verb?
is that a word
Is a word we use for an action. Okay, let's pronounce this one first. It's not word, it's verb.
verb
Very good. One more.
verb
Verb.
verb
Very good. With the letter V. Verb.
v- verb
Verb. And this one is
verb
word. So it's
word
different. Verb,
is
word.
verb uh,
Verb.
word word what
Uh,
what
Okay,
word.
one more.
Mm.
The difference between a
The
verb,
difference between
a verb,
a verb
and a noun
and a
is
noun
that a verb is a
is
word.
that a verb
Is a word we use
is, is a word we use
for an action.
for an action,
Whereas a
whereas
noun is the
a
name
noun
of a thing.
is a name
Of a thing.
of the thing
Of a thing. Of a thing.
of a thing.
Okay, so be always listen with a and the. Okay, you cannot change a to the. Okay, because it's a different meaning.
Yes.
Okay, give me an example of a verb. Give me an example of a verb, please. Take is a verb.
Seek is a verb.
Give me an example of a noun. Give me an example of a noun.
A
Book
book,
is a noun.
book, a book is a noun.
Very good. Is the word translation a verb or a noun? Is the word translation a verb or a noun? The word translation.
The a word
Translation
translation
is a noun.
is a noun.